What's up, YouTube? We're back with another episode of What the Hell Am I Doing? Today, I'm out with Ethan and Owen, and we just found a neighborhood of homes that's been expropriated by the government, and they're gonna be torn down for an infrastructure project. So I'm gonna take you guys through each and every one of the homes that we could get into and give you guys a look at what was left behind. First one we're gonna do is this really interesting looking place behind me here. Looks like a cool home from the late 60s, early 70s. So why don't we get down to it, start exploring. All right, guys, we're going to start today's adventure just outside the first house in this row of abandoned houses. I think what we'll do is we'll take a quick look around the property, and then we'll kind of work our way through this place. We're not going to spend too much time going in depth in these places because there are a bunch of places I want to get to, but I'll make sure to show you guys everything that's important. So right away, like I mentioned in the introduction, this is part of a group of homes that has been expropriated. This entire area is going to be torn down for a new project that's going to change the face of this neighborhood forever. And these homes all seem to be homes that were built sometime in the 60s, maybe 70s. And obviously, you know, their last days are coming very soon. So I just want to show you guys this one quickly. It almost looks like, from the way the parking lot looks, this house might have been converted into a business at some point. Seems to be a lot of parking space and almost looks commercial. But you can see at one point in time it was a really nice home, really big bungalow, and had a lot of window space and everything in the front. So that's quite a nice feature that I like. You see over here, got a nice little gate going to the backyard, which is pretty neat. Always like little features like this at homes. I'll just see if it's open. It is. So you come back here. This house has a nice little side entrance, which at one point in time would have been a pretty nice one. It's got the windows and the door in the middle. I'll just kind of show you. I'm not going to go through the backyards in this video because I don't want the video to be too long. Most of these houses seem to have boring landscape anyways, and there's farmland surrounding them. But I just want to give you an idea of what we're looking at here. At some point, an infrastructure project is going to change all of this. But you can see the backyard's very plain. There's trees separating the houses. So we'll take a quick look if there's something to show you. But otherwise, I'm not going to waste too much time dilly-dallying in these videos, or this video, because there's a lot to see. So we're going to start working our way to the front of the house here. We'll get inside, and then we'll see what's in there. All right, guys. We're going to start this one just inside the front door of this house. Like I mentioned, this is part of a row of houses that have been abandoned now for a little while for an infrastructure project. And I want to try to show you a bit of all of them. So we're not going to go in too much detail, but we're going to go through every place. And we're going to start with this one here. And right away, you can see this was like a classic 60s, maybe early 70s home when this place was first built. From the fire connection outside and a couple details I've already noticed, looks like this place was used as a business in the end. We'll see what kind of business that is when we get through it. But you can see it has some incredible features. I really like these lights that are hanging here. Really interesting. They're really big lights. So to me, this looks like this would have been like a dining area. You had a fireplace that at one point when this was a home would have been used. Looks like they covered it over when they converted it into a business, which is a shame, because at one point, that's a beautiful fireplace. But I really like this room. Takes advantage of those windows. I mentioned them outside. There's a lot of windows on the face of this house. But look at the ceiling. You get, you know, wood paneling, and you have these beams that they've constructed. And it's a really, really nice vaulted ceiling. It's a great feature. Looks like when you entered this place, there was planters right at the front door, which is a nice little touch as well. Again, it might have been a business, so that adds to it. But what a beautiful room. This would have been a grand room if this was a home still. And this definitely would have been a part that would have been celebrated a lot. So let's kind of work our way through this one. You can see there's still a closet there from when it was a home in the front. And as we go this way, we're walking into a very 70s looking kitchen. Very 70s. Just take a look at the hinges here. Oh, those are actually new. Those are like 90s hinges. So the cupboards, at least on the wall, yeah, all of them have new hinges. So surprisingly, it's not a 70s kitchen at all. It's actually been modernized. And these are 90s cabinets with 90s faux, or 90s, are these real? No, they're not. They're faux marble. So yeah, they're 90s cabinets with the cheap countertops. But they tricked me because it looks like something that would have been in this house when it was originally built. Over here they have the hanging cabinets, and they're not double-sided because that's a really high step from the back there. There looks like there's room back there. We'll get that into that in a minute. But you can see here, there's a lot of counter space. You would have had the oven there. You got the sink by the window. It's a little off center, but that's okay. And of course, you can also notice that the backsplash here is a bit more of a modern tile. It looks like something from the late 90s, early 2000s. So over here, you can see the fridge would have been in this corner here. And it's quite an old school kitchen with a little bit of modernization. Now, it looks like this house might have been used for police training because these are non-lethal training weapons. You see these in training houses. So we'll keep an eye out for that too. So over here is an interesting spot. Right off the kitchen, you've got this room that's like a step-down living room or family room. It's quite a beautiful space. And look at that. That's a beautiful original feature. Definitely something you would have seen in this era. It's like a fireplace with a built-in stone bookshelf. Like, that's quite insane there. That's a really, like, I'm kind of lost for words, actually. That's really cool. I don't think I've seen anything on this scale. You usually see like a wood caddy or something like that. But this one actually has shelving built right in. And you can see they have a valance going around the ceiling, so you could have hid the curtains originally. That's usually a sign this was a higher end home. Looks like they had the TV over there in modern times. But you can see the flooring in here is most likely original to when they built the house. This looks like flooring from the 60s, maybe the 70s. And it looks like it might have been a higher end house at the time, just from some of these things that we're seeing already. 2 fireplaces, a lot of incredible brickwork. So let's go down this hallway here. Oh, another sign it's commercial. You got safety lights on the wall there if the power goes out. But it's funny, as I show you that, the original doorbell for the house is on the wall too. So if we go this way, yeah, it looks like we got storage here. We got closets. Looks like we have an old bathroom vanity. Look at that. You know, that's definitely original to the house there with those with the cupboards and everything and that countertop. This is like a makeup area. This is definitely a bathroom, but it's been converted into like a group bathroom. I wonder if this is like a group house. You see the walls are just covered with insert shower pieces to kind of cover them up so that they're easy to clean. And that's an open shower there. It just would have had a curtain, I suppose. And that makes sense. This would have been a bathroom originally too, and that's why you have the vanity here. That would have been like a makeup area. And if you go over here, you've got a big bedroom. It's very deep, but it's not very wide. Kind of an interesting space. The flooring in here is not original. It's all modern, well, it's like the modern laminate. Windows obviously are not original either, but another valance. Another sign the house was, you know, a little bit higher end when they built it. Of course, there's stars painted on the wall. It's interesting. That's a doorstop. That's a big one though. So you come back out here and I guess we'll start continuing. This is starting to look like a bit of a group home. Might be my guess. Maybe they're taking care of people here or kids. Not sure. So over here we have a bedroom. It says David on the wall. That's a really cool mural. I like that. It's an ocean mural. Flooring in here is also not original. I think it's actually wood though. And of course you have the closet there. All the doors seem to have the original staining and look from when this house would have been built. Still looks like a late 60s or early 70s home to me. Over here you have a bedroom again. Pretty intricate cubby system. This is where all the keys are. So this was like used as an office or something at one point. Of course they have a window there. Looks like they had a TV on the screen there. That's interesting. I don't know if that's an alarm or what that is. Oh, look, we got a coat rack going down there. So yeah, this is, oh, look at there's a lot of network cable too. So this is definitely used as a business. Like there's no doubt now. You know, they probably would have had, that's like an access for water. So there's a downstairs. We'll check that out too. There's, as you can see, there's pictures. It looks like they're just generic ones that they stuck up. which is interesting. Over here we have another bathroom. Brown Bomber hasn't been in this place so far. Looks like the original tiling from the house is still on the wall. But you can see again, it's been converted into like a group room. It's got like a vinyl floor, walk-in open shower. And it's just all insert paneling in there. So like, that's all it is. Continuing down this way, it looks like we're getting to the end of the house where that side door was we saw earlier. Over here we have another bathroom. Looks like again, you got original tile, but the room has been opened up and kind of converted into a group setting. You know, you have the toilet there with shower insert wall coverings. Same thing with the actual shower itself. Very easy to clean. That's the key here, and that's what I'm noticing. So it's starting to look like a group home. You have like jackets hanging there. It looks like they're just labeled by size. Maybe it's a nursing home or use something like that. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments if you guys have any ideas what this was. Again, we got another room. This one's got laminate flooring, open closet, nothing too crazy to see. Did we go on this one? Sorry, oh, that one is open. Sorry if we're going a little quick. I don't want to be too long in this video if we're going to see a bunch of houses. So I want to kind of just give you guys a quick tour. Plus a lot of the features are stripped anyway. So, you know, we're just seeing what's left here. Okay, yeah, see, it seems like people were staying here that needed help. That seems like that from that letter on the wall there. All right, so we continue down here. And yeah, see, they would have had a fire extinguisher there, probably in the wall. Over here, we have a laundry room. It's a little kitchen sink beside a laundry room sink. You can see not much left behind. It even looks like flower, like the paintings or pictures, look like they're from old fast food restaurants and they were repurposed here. And this front room's another big room. Probably at one point in time, it could have been a family room or a living room. Big space. Quite a nice space. But I'm sure some of these walls have changed. Like a lot of the trim is newer down there if you look. So I'm sure a lot of this was changed from when the house was originally built. And this looks like would have been a break room for what we see there. Interesting. All right, so let's go over this way. Go on the other side of the door here. Then we'll make our way to the next house. This is the coolest room in the house. I love this. It's like an island, a tropical island with the pine trees. Or not the pine trees, the palm trees, sorry. Oh, look at that, you got a hammock there. It's a great place to relax. All right, guys. Well, that's the first house. I'm gonna work my way outside and we'll continue this in front of the next one. Oh, we forgot to go to the basement real quick. So let's check that out. See those pictures I already pointed out? Oh, you can see it's gross down here. There's mold. Looks nasty. Oh, it's really gross. Oh. Yeah, so down here, we got an unfinished room, which is not cool. We got a really gross, moldy room. Like really gross. Look at the different colors. Somebody left their coffee in here. The floors are still wet. Oh, this is gross, really nasty. Yeah, so this would have been a place someone stayed at one time. Now it's just a moldy, colorful, disgusting mess. It might not have been, actually. This doesn't look like someone would have stayed in this room. It looks like alarm-related stuff. We go this way. I don't want to be down here long. Got a closet space, it looks like, or a laundry room. That's probably a laundry room. You got moldy storage under the closet there. Water heaters. Had two of them because of the amount of people that were in this place. You got another unfinished room here. That looks like it goes outside to the backyard. And they got storage here. More mold. Yeah, this basement's disgusting. I'm not enjoying this at all. Really gross. But for you guys, gotta show you. I said I would do it. Those are huge water tanks. I'm not sure what those would be for. You can see through the hole in the wall there is water treatment in that room. So these seem to be like the mechanical bowels of the basement, I guess. And that would be that. We go this way. That's exactly what it is. More mold. You got electrical panels. A lot of water treatment down here. And otherwise, that's it. You got a closet there. What's in here? Furnace room. Yeah, so you can see this place has a lot of stuff left behind. There's a lot of furnaces and heaters and related things. This was clearly used like a group home or something like that. And now it's just a moldy, disgusting mess. All right, guys. Well, that's gonna wrap this particular house up. So why don't we get up these stairs, and then I'll get out there and get you over to the next one that we're gonna get into. All right, guys, we're now outside the second house in this row of houses that's abandoned. And this house also looks like it's a house from maybe even the 50s, but it's definitely at least a 60s home, I would say. So again, you can see this one had a lot of window space on the front of the house. Looks like it would have been a great home at one point in time. But it looks like it's also been abandoned for a little while, because you can see there's no real landscaping or any important features out front to see. I'm assuming we're gonna have the same thing in the back. Looks like it still has its garages. I don't think this house was converted into a business, but I guess we'll find out. Oh yeah, that doesn't open. And that's locked. But as you can see, that's the house next door that we were just in. That's what it looks like from this side here. It obviously was a beautiful home at one point in time. Very cool. And this one here has seems to have the stone feature going all the way around. Yeah, okay, and this is the backyard here. There's a shed there. We're not gonna focus on the sheds today because we got a lot to see. You can see though, it's an interesting looking place. Another old school home. Has a large yard, but the yard is missing a lot of its important features, I would say. It's almost like an animal pen or something you had there. But it is a beautiful property. It's a shame that it'll be never enjoyed again by a family. Of course, this is the house here. So why don't we get inside this one, see what we can figure out about it. All right, guys, we're now just inside the front door of the second house of this Explore video. And you can see this one looks to be stuck in time as well, just like the one we were just in before. Right away when you come in, they have a chandelier hanging from the ceiling. That almost looks like they have Artex in there. It may not be, but it kind of has that impression. It gives that impression that it might be. But you look forward, got a beautiful double door entry to the house. They look like they're pine doors. These are kind of the doors you probably would have seen in the 70s, I would bet, from the looks of things. You got this tile entryway, which is obviously a little bit more modern. But right away, that's the interior stonework. That looks like something from when this house would have been built. Even the wood top on it, that looks like, you know, a cutting board almost. And this really has a feeling of something from the late 60s, early 70s. And as you turn around, look at that. It's an incredible fireplace. It's an interior stone wall to go with it. And of course, they've put an insert in there, an insert stove. But wow, this brickwork here, very incredible stuff. It's very beautiful work. It's got a nice mantle and seating area going across the front of it. The mantle goes all the way around. And this work is very reminiscent of the work that we just saw in the first house that we were in. And you can see this place has been sitting a while. The ceiling is starting to bow there, and you can see there's a lot of mold building up. It's getting kind of gross, and it doesn't smell very good. And as I turn around and look towards the entryway we came in, you can see there is more work up there. It looks like it's Artex on the ceiling. So we go this way. And yeah, it looks like we got it downstairs. We'll check that last. And over here we have a kitchen. You can see the back door has been busted in. It looks like the kitchen's a little bit newer. It's got modern tile, like it's, you know, from the 90s. You've got the marble countertop, or sorry, the granite countertop, and the cabinets look to be a lot newer. And as I say that, yeah, I can see open hinges there. They are like, you know, late 90s, early 2000s type of cabinets. This is a bit of a tight kitchen. Still got a lot of counter space as you look around. Of course, it's got the sink by the window, which I love. Great feature. And that would have been the dining area over there with the swinging light that bounced off my head earlier. I really like the island too. It's a nice kitchen space. Of course, as you go over here, you can see it goes into the open area here that would have been probably a family room that we were just in. But yeah, that's a great kitchen. I really like that. As we go this way, we'll go down the hall. Got a bathroom here. Ooh, this is a very modern, looks like, you know, mid-2000s type of bathroom. Tile work and everything looks new. It's got a beautiful shower though. Really, really nice shower. Love the glass walls. The tile work is nice. Interestingly though, look at that. Looks like they had a lot of hard water or something here, or that is a lot of rust. Whoa. But I like how it looks like it's got a stone floor, which is kind of neat. The very cool large shower. I like that one. Bathroom is a little bit modern for me though, I gotta say. Like, I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. Of course, we gotta see, toilet is clean, so the brown bomber hasn't been here. Let's go down this way. Over here we have a laundry room and mud room coming off the backyard. Not much left of it. Of course, from here you got a great view of the fireplace again. Just beautiful stuff. As we go further into the house. Okay, so we have like another area here with tile. It almost looks like a kitchen, but it isn't, obviously. Another entry to the backyard. So this room, I'm not sure what it is with the tile flooring. It's obviously not like a family room or space like that. I guess it could have been just used like a secondary back entry to the house, and that's why the floors are tiled. You go over here, this has a door going out front. I'm not sure, yeah, this is just like a big entryway. They got a fan there. The windows are boarded, obviously. You can see this room had 2 closets. So maybe this house was even used as an apartment or something at one point, and that's why some of these are broken up like that. It doesn't seem to be commercialized like the house we were just in, that's for sure. And as we go this way, this probably takes us to the garage. Yes, it does. Okay, so yeah, you can see they had an interesting barn door set up to go to the backyard. I guess to bring out their tractors and whatnot. And they had only one garage door opener and some nice aluminum doors. All right, so let's work our way to the other half of the house. Yeah, so we'll go up these stairs. These stairs look like they're not really modern, or they're modernized, but you know what's cool is that railing. That's probably original to when they built this place. You go in here, you can see the flooring up here has been touched, none of it's original. Right away, we got a bathroom, looks like it's fairly modern, like early 2000s, I guess it's not that modern. It's not tile, it's laminate, or I can't remember the word right now. Linoleum tile. The brown bomber hasn't been here. You can see the vanity and everything's been removed, so there's not really much to see except for the Home Depot light. But it's a nice big bathroom. Got an original knob there. And that would have been like a towel closet. So we'll go back out to this very, ooh, look at all the cobwebs. Yeah, these places have been empty for a while from the looks of things. A lot of spiders and cobwebs, they're quite gross. Over here you have a bedroom. See the moisture stains on the walls. Not much to see in there. You got a room on the left and a room on the right. The room on the left looks almost identical to the room we were just in. It's another bedroom. It's got a nice big window, a couple of closets, but otherwise not a whole bunch to see. And again, the final bedroom looks like the master bedroom's the same. It's got a nice little closet there. got it's got the folding doors. And if you go this way, must be a bathroom. No, there's no bathroom. That's interesting. This is like another room. This might have been a bathroom at one point in time. This house seems a little strange, so, but you can see it's been empty for a while. Those are signs of being years empty. Very interesting. All right, let's see what's downstairs. So I guess the one bathroom is for the whole house. Like this one here, that must be it. And the shower is down on the main floor. All right, so let's see what's in the basement. Wrap this house up. You can see the basement doesn't look too exciting right away. Ooh, it stinks down here. It's kind of moldy. So you have the closet down here. It looks like it was the rec room down here. And you have that 50s tiling on the ceiling. So this could have been a 50s home, like I said out front. Could be a 50s, early 60s home, just on the appearance of the stone outside and now the tiling you see down here. Interesting wallpaper. The coolest feature of the basement down here is the burner, or the stove, I should say. It's got some nice interior brick. Go over here. It's just an empty closet space. A lot of this basement isn't even finished. And this room looks half gutted. What probably happened is it probably flooded and they cut out all the wet drywall. That's probably what's going on, because that looks like that was a bedroom. Yeah, you can see there's probably signs of water coming up high. And this was like the furnace room of the house. All right, well, there's not a ton to see in here. So let's wrap this one up and get out front of the next house that we're going to check out in this multi-house Explorer. All right, guys, we're now outside the third house of this crazy Explorer that we're doing here. And this one looks like it's been built way back in the 60s. I just spoke to Ethan and Owen. Apparently the last two houses that we were in were both built in 1974. So we have an exact date for those. This one here looks like it was built in the 60s from the color of the brick and everything. So right away you can see the property's been used like a bit of a dumping land. This place had a beautiful front lawn. Look at that tree there. It's an absolute beautiful pine tree. You can see like they have a beautiful front lawn. At one point they cared about it. They had a lot of trees for seclusion and privacy. And you can see they had a shed there, and the property extends to those trees over here. Just a beautiful property, lots of land. And from what I've been told, that marker there is one of the markers for the highway project that's going to take over this area. And as we get closer to the home, you can see it's been a while since anybody's cared about it. You got a lot of overgrown bushes and weeds, a lot of weeds taken over. And of course, this place at one time had a beautiful front walkout. It's really taken over, so we're not going to go over there. I don't even want to try to walk through that because you can see that the railing right there for the front steps is completely covered over. But at one point, this had a beautiful front porch on it. And now, of course, it is just kind of forgotten, like this house will be soon enough. As we go towards the backyard, you can see they had a ramp going to the deck, so this was probably handicap access. So there was probably someone here that needed that. You see they had a pretty decent shed. And of course, you can see this is actually, the brick is actually this color. It wasn't painted. But as you go towards the backyard, you got a beautiful backyard. It looks like they had a nice little above ground pool here, but they built a deck around it, so it would have been actually quite a cool hangout spot. See, it goes up and around. They got a beautiful railing giving a nice view of the yard from here. That would have been a fun little spot, especially on a hot summer day like today. I'm roasting, guys. I'll be sweaty by the time we get to the outro. But as you see, it was a beautiful yard, beautiful large space, and extends all the way back there to where you got that tree fence, basically. Looks like they had a shed here too. I'm not going to check that out, obviously, because we want to try to keep this as short as possible. You can see this deck was pretty cool at one point in time, and they obviously did have the ramp access to the back of the house. If you go over here, looks like they had a little bit of a makeshift sunroom, because you can see down there is a door going to the basement. But here, Yeah, this was one point like a sunroom or kind of like a greenhouse type of room or something. There's probably a double door going into the house. But that's pretty interesting. All right, guys. Well, let's stop dilly-dallying back here now. Let's work our way inside this one to see what was left behind. Okay, guys, we're going to start this third one just inside the front door like we've done in all the others. Let's get right down to it, see what's left of this place. Right away, you can see they still have the original front door in the house. It's a beautiful solid wood door with the beveled windows on each side. Definitely a feature that goes back to when they built this place. And as you turn around, you're greeted with a very modest hallway going into the house. But you can see that this house was probably a higher end home back in the day because you can see crown molding runs all the way through the front hallway here. And I presume it's going to be throughout most of the house. And as I look down there, yeah, it runs down there. And as I look into the living room space or the family room here, it's also there. Before we do that, got a beautiful closet. Well, that's not a closet. Wow, it's a powder room. And look at this. This is an absolutely beautiful bathroom or powder room. They've got beautiful wood paneling running up to the ceiling. And they also have it covering the ceiling. And they've also got crown molding to actually, finish it all out. That is a beautiful look. I like that art on the wall there, or whatever that is, that piece. And what's really cool is they have a nice octagon-shaped window looking out at the front patio, or the front porch, which is also quite cool. Although it does have the bevel glass for privacy, of course. Of course, we got a note. Oh, yeah. The Brown Bomber's here. Left a little gift for us all, but you know what? That's all right. It doesn't really take away from this amazing bathroom we found on this one. This is probably one of the coolest features we've seen in these homes so far today. As I turn around, that is a closet. So that's the closet. I thought it was a double door closet, but it's a single. But interestingly, there's a port going into this closet, and I'm not sure why. I guess you could reach in if you're in a hurry and take something, but I'm not sure what the point of that is. But that's an interesting entryway to the house for sure. Of course, you have another doorbell chime that looks like that, going back to the 60s. And of course, you got original light switch covers and all that. But look at this. You go in here, this is a beautiful family room. Got a massive front window, of course, something typical in this era's home. Big window letting in lots of beautiful light, but look at this. You got a beautiful fireplace in this house as well. Great interior brickwork. There's shelving. There's tiers of shelving. There's a wood caddy in the corner there. Unfortunately, they've put like an electric insert in it. But at one point, this was a real fireplace because it has the circulation fans there that blow the heat around. But really beautiful stuff. I really like that. That looks like a makeshift knick-knack table or display table in the corner there. Of course, if I turn around, you can see this is, a fairly decent sized room. You even had a medallion on the ceiling for the fan or for a beautiful light. And this house also has valances to hide the curtain rods. So again, this is looking like a higher end house as well. The flooring in here is unfortunately not original, but I think it is actually hardwood. But this looks like, an 80s or a 90s upgrade. As we go this way, I would say this is like a dining room space. You got another medallion there that you could have had a chandelier. Again, they've got crown molding in here, but it's really elegant and beautiful. Really, really nice stuff. And that goes around the perimeter of this room. Some spiders again, unfortunately. And of course, if you go through this takes you out to the sunroom space that I showed you guys in the outside walk around. So we'll go this way first. There's a nasty cobweb there. There's a basement. We're going to check that last before we leave. So if you go all this way, looks like it was the laundry room of the house. It's a modest room, and it looks like it was probably an add-on. You can see the floors are very fake. And over here, you would have had your dryer, your washer. There's a sink in the corner. And of course, you just got a nice window going out to the yard there. And again, there's a wall heater. That's a newer one. But this place, obviously, they were fortunate enough to have them when they first built the house, and they probably just modernized it a bit. So going this way, this is an exit to the garage. That's interesting. There's like a space here too. It's a very weird space. Looks like they moved old cabinets here. Maybe they opened this up or something. This probably was part of the garage and they closed it off at one point. That's my guess. Maybe. Yeah, probably. This probably was like a deck area in the garage, and that was probably the laundry room door to the house originally. So now I'm thinking that room in there is not an add-on, like I said before. We'll go check out the garage real quick just to see. It's quite a big garage when you come down. It's got lots of space. And yeah, you can see. This was an add-on. The garage, there's literally a space in the wall for the garage door opener. It's almost like hack work, really. And of course, that looks like an original door to when they built the house, just from the windows there. That's pretty neat. So they added that on, and the rest of the house is actually original still. Of course, that's for the fireplace there. So we'll go back in. Wow, that's just wild. Little living space or hangout space or just extra storage. Looking up, they still have the original light in the hallway. Of course, now we will go back into the house. We will check downstairs last. We'll go into the kitchen. Look at that. So they have beautiful hardwood kitchen floors, but they have these tile murals in squares. Kind of like a pathway from one door to the other in the kitchen, and that's quite beautiful. You can see this kitchen obviously has been upgraded probably in the late 90s, early 2000s. Cabinets look very modern, and you can see they do have granite countertops and really interesting backsplash tiles. They look like they have metallic material in them, which is really cool. As you look around, those tiles go all the way through the kitchen. It's quite a nice kitchen. You can see they left their washing machine behind, but the oven and the fridge and everything are no more. Even an interesting fan that kind of matches the tile work. And of course, like I've pointed out in all the houses here, you got a kitchen sink by the window looking out at the yard, but this one's actually centered, so this one gets extra points for being on spot. So we go out this way. Oh, you know what? There's a stationary area there. I guess the kitchen table would have been here. And again, another wall unit for heat, so it's another sign they had money. So coming out this way here, we end up in the front hallway where we started the video. We'll go this way now. You see over here, it looks like another room or something. I'm not sure what kind of room this was. It's not a bathroom or anything like that, but you can see they had a counter put in here. Interesting space. Again, the walls have crown molding at the ceiling. Every room seems to have it so far. We continue this way. So here we have a bathroom, and this bathroom is actually connected to the bedroom next to it and to the hall, so it's kind of like for everybody. This bathroom also looks like it was done late 90s, early 2000s. The tile on the wall is very modern, especially the mini tiles. But I really like those boxes in the wall for storage. And you come over here and you can see there's also a modern, like late 90s, early 2000s vanity with the mirror and a fairly modern light. And of course the window looks new too, and we gotta know, was he here? This toilet, he was not. But a lot of empty space in this bathroom. They even have a thermostat there, which is quite strange. But yeah, this bathroom's not too original, but I think the modernization looks all right. I really like the what they did with the shower and the tub here. I think that looks good. So from here, you got a bedroom that's connected, so I guess this was like a master bedroom, and everybody kind of shared the bathroom. But it was an ensuite to the master. It's not a huge room. It's big enough to have a king-size bed, though. There is a crown molding going around again. There is no valance, though. You can see from the curves and the blades, this place has been sitting probably for many years at this point. And there's spiders everywhere in these houses. They're really gross. There's one up there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Got a nice cubby system in the closet here. And again, the floors are actually hardwood. It's weird that they have these stones in the room, though. So going back out to the hallway here, at the end of the hall, you have a linens closet. And you can see from the lining right there, that's very 60s, maybe 70s at the most, but that looks like 60s lining to me. And you got one more room over here. It would have been a kid's room or a guest room. It's a fairly large room. So you could have a king-size bed in here as well. But there's absolutely, not much to see in here. Just some crown molding, which is followed through the entire house. And you've got their very gold looking 60s curtains and an empty closet. All right, let's quickly take a look at the basement. And then we're gonna work our way over to, I believe, what will be the final house of this Explorer. Really like this kitchen. I think they did a great job on it. It's pretty interesting to explore so far. I hope you guys are enjoying this. It's a little different. Look at the carpet going down here, very dated and stuck in time. As is the, looks like a linoleum up there. And already I can see this basement's gross. It's been flooded. There's mold on the paneling, the cheap wood paneling. There's mold on the door. And it's bad down here. It stinks too. So the flooring is pretty rough. Oh, guys, this is really, really gross. Whoa. So over here we have a hot pink storage area. It's insulation. Even the floors in here, they're getting moldy because it's aspenite. Have a nice fireplace down here. It looks like it's an electric one. I like the interior brick wall, but at some point they could have actually had a stove up there because of that exhaust. If we go over here, oh, you got like another kitchen down here. Look at this. That's some really ancient looking wallpaper. Gotta say, I like the pine wood, the wainscoting and chair rail that they have down here. That's pretty cool. You got like a modern stone fireplace with the gas insert that they put here, but really it's hack work. They never finished around it. Even that light up there is really dated looking. Another wall heater. So again, this is original to when they built the place, looks like, and it looks like those heaters are actually from when they built the place too. Over here you got storage. Well, they have a sauna. They have a sauna in this house? Are you kidding me? In the depths of the house, they have a beautiful mini sauna. And you know what? The house stinks, but I smell the beautiful wood from the sauna. The cedar smells great. And that is a relief from the way this house smells. So that's really cool. That's a nice surprise. Looks like in the end they were using it for storage, but they actually have a sauna in this house. That's cool. So coming back out here, got another old cabinet left behind, and they have water softening stuff and treatment for the house. Can you believe that's hidden in that room? Behind all this mold. Of course, here they have a walkout. And this walkout is actually below the room we saw there. Does this open? No, it doesn't. But you can see this looks out at the yard. And of course, it has a nice octagon-shaped window too. But it's definitely an add-on, just like the sunroom that we were in above there. You can see the original outside tile or brick there. But interestingly, they have a kitchen in here. So either this house it was like an Italian home at one time, or type of family that had two kitchens, or they had in-laws living here or something. But even this kitchen seems to have been modernized a little more recently. Those hinges look like they're 80s or 90s hinges. The countertop's the faux countertop you would have seen in the 80s or 90s. And that's more mold that's gross. But yeah, you look around, maybe this is the old stuff that was upstairs when they renovated. That actually would make the most sense. It's so moldy and gross down here, I'm a little distracted, guys, but this is what this is. All these cabinets, including these glass ones here, were upstairs. And when they renovated that kitchen, 15, 20 years ago, this stuff came down here and they converted this into like a kitchen. They added this in. See, they even have the fake glass tile backsplash there. But you gotta say, even the basement kitchen has a sink by the window. Even though it's not centered, it's by the window. And the fridge is still here. Is there anything in it? It opens from this side. Oh, there's nothing in it, but it's quite gross. As is the freezer, and there's like mold. The wainscoting in this basement is beautiful. But the flooring is mostly, ooh, look at the mold on that. The flooring is mostly laminate with the tile. That's a cool light switch. Look at these walls, oh my God. So down here they have a bathroom, yeah. The brown bomber wasn't here. It stinks in this house real bad. They got a shower in the corner there. I don't want to touch the door, guys. I'm sorry. Over here, they got a really moldy room. Oh, this is really gross. Really gross. One of the grossest rooms I've seen. Oh my God. But I like the wood paneling. Well, the illusion of wood paneling. Okay, let's continue. Since we have one more house, I don't want to be too long, and this is really gross, so I really don't want to be too long. We have another room with tile, and the mold is getting ridiculous in here. It's wood paneled. It's got crown molding, surprisingly. There's a lot of crown molding in this house, but man, the water damage is just insane down here, and the mold is taking over. And again, there's a wall heater here that's original to the house. So a lot of this trim is probably original too. Over here, we got another room. Got a floor baseboard heater. Looks like 60s or 70s curtains. But again, the ceiling is moldy. The walls are actually painted aspenite. So this might have been just like a kid's room. There's a painting on the floor. Could have been like a little art room, place for the kids to play. You can see there's a mosaic on the wall, but unfortunately it's just been destroyed by the mold. Wow. Come back out here. So this goes two ways. This is where we came from through the kitchen. And this is like the hallway back to the living room area of the basement. This one was really gross, guys. Good God. All right. I think that's all we're going to look at down here. Let's get into the next one and see what that one looks like. All right, guys, we're outside of the last house of this group of homes that we're going to do today. This one was built way back in '77. And just like the rest of them, this one sits abandoned, waiting to be replaced by a highway project. You can see it has that classic look of a home from back in the '70s with the brick and the siding. This one actually has a nice metal roof, though. But again, they have a beautiful large property. Look at that willow tree. It's amazing. It extends all the way to the pine trees there. This is the type of property a home in '77 in this area would have had. Just massive property, very secluded, very private. Show you guys the backyard real quick. You can see the landscaping at all these places really isn't anything fancy. The exchange, I guess, was they had a lot of privacy and their properties were just huge. You can see this one goes all the way back to those trees back there, which is incredible. Look at this, we got pine trees here, lots of coverage. Got a deck back here. I'm not going to, it might be rough, so we'll check it out, but not too far. Yeah, you can see they had a huge back deck. And the property is huge. It goes beyond those trees to that second row of trees in the distance back there. Acres and acres of land. Of course, this deck at one point in time would have had railings going around, probably just like these. This would have been a great spot. Probably had a lot of great gatherings. It's a huge deck. Great areas to hang out at various points of the day so you can stay in or out of the sun depending what you prefer. But yeah, I would have loved it back here. Definitely would have had lots of barbecues, friends coming over, stuff like that. Cigars, coffees, you know the drill. Anyways, the neighbor's outside next door, so I don't want to be out here for too long. So let's get inside this one and see what the last house looks like. All right, guys, we're just inside the front door of the final house of this group of expropriated homes. So why don't we get right down to it and see what's left of this place? Right away, you're greeted by two beautiful front doors with stained, or not stained glass, but iron glass that look out at the front porch. And these are quite nice doors. And I think these actually go back to the house when it was built because of the design on the bottom of the doors with the squares. Very typical design you would have seen in a door. Or perhaps maybe they converted these doors to have windows in them at some point over the years. And when you come into this home, right away you're greeted by a closet, which is very typical. You got a sliding door mirrored closet. And they have these linoleum floors that are supposed to look like they're tile. Interestingly, there's a vent in here, which I think may have been added after they built the house. We'll try to figure that out as we get through it. But you turn around, you start to walk into the house, and you're greeted by the hallway here. And you can see they have the original wood floors. These are actual wood, hardwood floors that are probably left behind from 1977 when they built this place. And as we get a little further in, there's an upstairs, there's a kitchen, and there's a basement. So this is kind of like a side split, this home. Side split, a little bit like a bungalow, a little bit of both. So you come over this way, and this would be the family room space of the house. It's got a beautiful 6-pane bay-like window. It's not a bay window. I'm not sure exactly what these ones are called. I'm sure someone can tell me in the comments. But it's a beautiful wide window with a nice curve to it, and it's got a nice ledge there you could sit on or put plants on. And of course, this is going to let a lot of light into this house to give it a natural glow, which is absolutely beautiful. As you turn around, they have a couple of, adjustable lights hanging off the ceiling. And you look this way, and this takes you directly to the dining room part of the house. The layout is very simple. There's no valances, there's no crown moldings. This house isn't as high-end as the last few that we were in, but one of the features I'm loving the most are the hardwood floors. That makes up for a lot in my opinion because I love hardwood flooring. As you come into this space here, this is most likely like a dining room space. They have a simple light there instead of a chandelier. Of course they have these LED lights. I'm not sure what the point of those are, maybe just for ambience at night. But they had a nice not double door, but a sliding door that went out to the deck from here, that beautiful big deck that we were just on. So you could have got out to there from this room here. And if you go this way, this takes us to the garage. And this is a big garage once again. All these homes have quite large garages. The ceiling of this one is very tall. And as you can see, they actually finished the ceiling with drywall. So it's insulated and everything else most likely. You can see they even insulated the backs of the doors, or the back of the door, I should say. And this is an original door to when they built the house. I can tell from the swing style that it works. This is very typical of a garage door in a house in the 60s or 70s. They got tons of shelving space in here with some lighting. And of course they had a window there going to the backyard, which is now boarded over. I love garages with windows that go outside. I think that's amazing. So going back into the house, that's actually kind of odd too. As we go back in, the garage goes to the dining room. Never seen that before. Not directly anyways. So going this way, we go into a kitchen. And this is a fairly modest sized kitchen. It's not a very large kitchen at all. Basically you have one long counter and all that countertop space running along the exterior wall of the house. And that's pretty much all that they have to work with. And they've got some storage. They got some cabinetry going around where the fridge would have been. And of course you have your cups and your sink cups and your plate cupboards around the sink. And this probably actually would have been where the fridge was here. And over here you would have had your washing machine and your stove. They took the range hood out. But these cabinets, yeah, these are older. You can see those hinges there. They're not the typical ones you would see in the 90s or 2000s. These look like hinges probably from the 80s. These are very white and plain, so, the late 70s, early 80s, these hinges would have been new. And I guess what you're seeing is the beginning of the era of 80s white cabinetry with this style of cabinet in here. Once again, this house also has the window and the sink together in the back. The sink is not centered by the window, so it does lose some points, but at least they get a view of that big, beautiful yard they have. So from here, we can go up or down. I think we'll go up first and we'll go down last. So up here, we got original hardwood stairs and flooring still. And right away, when we get to the top floor, we got an original bathroom. Look at the green and pink tiling. That's pretty neat. I like that a lot. And that dates back to when they built this place. They have a nice tub, and it looks like from the things, what I see here, the tub is original too. At least the tile work is. That's definitely tiling from the late 70s, early 80s. They were fancy with to have two lights in the shower here, and you can see all the hardware looks to be original to when they built this house. Interestingly, it's a jacuzzi, so that's a nice little add-on feature. Of course, you turn around here, you've got the toilet, and you've got the vanity here, and this will probably have the same kind of hinges we just saw in the kitchen. Those are actually newer looking. Those look like 80s or 90s, late or 90s, I should say. And they got a very long mirror going along the counter space. And of course, we gotta know, Brown Bomber wasn't here either. He's just destroyed that one toilet, I think, so far in this video. Over here, you got a little closet for the towels and everything. They even tiled that. Of course, that timer is for the jacuzzi. And in here, you probably got more storage. Yeah, it's going above the basement stairs, so that's a closet. So we'll go back out to the hallway here. That bathroom, by the way, is a great feature. That bathroom is probably one of the cooler things we've seen in this video. If you guys agree, let me know in the comments. I really like that retro look of that one. Back here, we got a bedroom. You can see they had a TV on the wall and a shelf at one point. Look at all the dead flies and stuff over here. Oh, that's gross. Yeah, this is a modest sized bedroom. Could have been a kid's room, could have been a guest room. Not too many features that are left from when it was originally built. It's got a nice long closet, and that's about it. And of course, the window's covered over. Curtains are even newer. Just the flooring in here seems to be original. Of course, we go back out in the hall. We've got a room across the hall. This room is very modern. Look at that flooring. That's laminate hardwood. And the color of that screams the last 15 years probably. But yeah, even the color schemes, the blue and the white, that's very 2000s looking. This house seems to have been mostly touched up in the last 20 years from what we're seeing. And this room is very similar as the room across the hall. Maybe about the same size, and it's got a huge open closet here, which doesn't have any doors or anything anymore. Look at the hackwork on the molding going around. That's interesting. And of course, they have the window there covered over with a modern curtain too. Going back to the hallway here, we've got one more room on the right here. And this room was also a bedroom. This is a smaller bedroom. And you can see they also had a TV or something mounted on the wall there. So everything's kind of similar in here. It was a very modern home probably in the end with LCDs or LED TVs everywhere. And you can just see by the color schemes with the white and a simple color in every room. It's a very, 2000s type of thing. But the flooring in this house is beautiful and it's in absolute mint condition. It's a shame it's going to be demolished and replaced with a highway, really. All right, well, that wraps up this part of the house, the upstairs. So let's get down to the basement or whatever the next level is. See what's down there. Again, coming down to this, you got the modest kitchen there, you got the living room space there, and you got the bedroom there. So this takes us down to the basement now, or at least I think it's the basement. Oh, this is a nice room. So they had a little rec room area here. And this is obviously where people hung out probably, especially if they had kids, have their friends over and hang out here or have your Saturday night parties or whatever. You can see the house is suffering some water damage. There's stains in the carpet and on the baseboards, but there's not mold like the other ones we've seen. So that's good. The windows are quite large because it's not a completely buried basement. It's a split level, so you actually have a walkout right there. At one point, they had a fireplace that had beautiful stone. Unfortunately, they painted over that, and they kind of ruined it, in my opinion. But at one point, this would have been an amazing fireplace and a real feature of this house. Even had the circulation fans, but they decided to paint it and ruin it. As we go back towards the stairs, we're probably going to have a closet here. Yeah, that's just closet space. And right beside the stairs, we have a very 80s looking bathroom. From the tile floors to the floral wallpaper that I swear I've seen before in my life. I like the retro sconces they have on the walls though for ambience and light. Those are probably original to the 70s when they built this place. Gotta know. No turns in that one. He wasn't here. And that's an original toilet. And interestingly, this is this shower was probably an add-on, as you can see. It's an insert shower, and they have a dispenser, which is very commercial looking, but I guess it's convenient. You don't have to have stuff falling down and getting knocked down in a small shower like this. But yeah, this is, this looks like an 80s add-on. That's more of a Moen from the 80s, and that shower head is very, generic. But from the wallpaper and everything, I would say they took a modest bathroom and added a shower to it, or maybe they updated it. I don't know. It's hard to say, because I'm looking back here. This is clearly, furnace venting. They closed it off and added this at some point. What do you guys think? You tell me. Do you think this shower in this bathroom was original to the house? Or do you think they added the shower at some point? I mean, there's no doubt the bathroom was original from that toilet. There was definitely at least a powder room down here at one point. I'm leaning towards the shower being part of it now, to be honest with you. So we're not going to go crawling through that furnace room. I don't feel like fitting through that. So this is probably gonna be the end of the video here, because as we come over here, we have a laundry room in the basement, and you can see this room's starting to get moldy and gross. But yeah, you can tell it's a laundry room. You've got your vent there for the dryer. You got the dryer plug, so you would have had a washer here, and you have your sink and your water connections. Nothing too crazy. And behind the pink door, we got nothing. I guess it's closed off because they turned that other room into a bedroom, or into a bathroom. I'm pretty sure. Let's just see. Yeah, so that's closed off. So this bathroom probably wasn't original to when they built this house. But on that note, I think that's going to cover the entire basement as I take one last look around. Yep. So that's going to wrap up the final house of this Explore. The first time I've done a 4-house Explore. And I hope you guys enjoyed coming on this one. This was a bit of a different one. I didn't think any of the houses were good enough on their own to do on their own for you guys. But I thought the idea of putting them together in one video and showing them all to you as an Explore together would be a great adventure. So I hope you guys enjoyed coming on this one. If you did, please leave a comment, smash that like button, and of course, share the video out to help the channel and the video grow. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for today's Explore. I hope you guys enjoyed coming on this one with me. This was an absolutely wild adventure through a group of homes built between 1967 and 1977. And as you can see, all these homes were well loved and cared for at one point in time. And a lot of them had great features, such as the swimming pool and the sauna and some of the cool kitchens and bathrooms we've seen. A lot of these were great homes that were once well loved and taken care of. And it's a real shame to see them sitting in this state as they await their demolition to be replaced with something that will completely change the face of this area. If you guys enjoyed coming on this adventure with me, please make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment afterwards, and of course, share the video out to help the channel and the video grow. Well, that's all the time we have for this one today. If you enjoyed this adventure, please make sure you hit that subscribe button over there if you haven't already. Check out last week's video there. Check out the random video up there. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for tuning in.